Hello and welcome. Thank you for listening to this special crossover episode for the Brax and Ricky return with our friends of the pod, Pop Goes the Tam Tam. Hope you enjoy this unique event. This will be available on both podcast feeds, and it's going to be all things Brax and Ricky. Do make sure you like, subscribe, follow, leave a rating and review if you do enjoy this episode, and stick around because the one after this will be covering all the other action from back in the Bay.
Hold me in your arms, don't let me go. I want to stay forever, closer each day, home and away.
For this wonderful episode, we've come together. We've got Home and Away and me, and we have united again to talk about a very special episode of Home and Away. Brax has returned and Ricky is with him. And to discuss the return of Brax and Ricky, I am joined by some very special guests. Announce yourselves, special guests.
It's me, Jono, and I'm here with Steffo from Summer Bay. Thank you so much, Tamsin, for letting us hide out at your tower here. Anybody for a sausage?
Look, now you know you can't get away with fake names here.
Okay. Well, in that case, because we're amongst friends, it's signed Sophie from Coastal News.
Hello, thank you for coming back on. And I mean, I'm on yours as well, so this makes it sound like it's just my podcast. It's ours today.
It is. Crossover event. They just wanted it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last time we did this was for the passing. Well, she's not dead, but you know, she's off the base, so she might as well be, of Irene Roberts.
Wow.
True. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, she lives on in the time crack with all the other characters from that era. Yes, and it was a great episode. Thank you for suggesting we do this again. I think it's great that we have this opportunity. You're covering Home and Away, obviously we cover Home and Away, and it's nice to share it with others. And there's been a lot of engagement and chat about this comeback, and it's been highly anticipated. I'm sure you'll agree. So we're excited to talk about it.
Well, I'm so excited to talk about it with you two as well. So now, obviously, your listeners will know exactly who Brax and Ricky are. But for my listeners who don't necessarily know who they are, let's talk about them. So let's talk about Brax and Ricky. Who are they? Should we start with Brax?
Yeah.
Your favourite, Soph. Go on. Who is Daryl Braxton?
Daryl Braxton. So he is from a notorious family, the Braxtons, notorious in a place called Mangrove River, a little bit down the road from Old Summer Bay there. A more wrong side of the tracks kind of place. Is that a nice way of describing it? I don't know. Even the sign going into Mangrove River is graffitied, and gives you a bit of a sense of where you're sort of entering, doesn't it? When you see that sort of sign of graffiti and sort of derelict looking place. It doesn't look as polished and shiny as Summer Bay, does it? And as lovely and picturesque.
Up and coming, I think they'd say at the estate agent.
Yes, definitely a doer-upper town. So he comes from the notorious Braxton family, who are. He was essentially the head of the River Boys. So in Mangrove River, there was this like sort of underbelly of criminal boys / men, young men, and Brax was like the leader of the gang, wasn't he? Essentially, bit of a bad boy, morally grey, I would probably tell. He's one of them people that's got. He's a bad boy, but he's got a bit of a heart about him. Like he isn't completely terrible all the way through. He has got that kind of like, I don't know. He's like he does bad things for good reasons. So it's like
he's an onion.
He is. He's so layered, and I think that's why I like him. And he was one of 3 brothers, wasn't he? Sadly, I think if 2 of them died. Yeah, can't remember.
No, because there's 3.5, isn't there? If we're counting Kyle, let's not
Kyle
scratch that edge.
is Kyle still alive, or did he just go to
I
prison?
Kyle's
think
in
he
prison.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so still alive. So Casey's died, hasn't he? And then Kyle's in prison. Heath is kicking around somewhere, probably still being a bad boy somewhere. So yeah, they're a notorious family. I think if you went to Mangrove River and said Braxton, you'd probably get a bit of a reaction on the face. Let's put it that way, wouldn't you?
I think you would in the Bay. They arrived and shook it up, didn't
They
they?
did. Yeah.
They brought trouble to the Bay. I think they represent as a group sort of the darker era of the show. Let's call it. They definitely polarized the fans. Love them or loathe them, though, they were insanely popular. They were hot, shirtless men, naughty boys. The crowds went wild, and it changed the show forever.
It did.
yeah,
It redefined the tone. It made it grittier. It made it, like you say, darker. I loved it. I absolutely adored it. But I do know we've had a lot of comments, haven't we, through the podcast, through talking to people online through our social media account. A lot of people stopped watching the show during this era, so it really did divide the fan base, I think, didn't it?
yeah. And I'm going to be honest. I think it took a long time for Home and Away to find itself again post Braxton, post Riverboy.
Yeah, because they left such a big dent, didn't they, when they left as well? A big
Yeah,
impact when they arrived and a big dent when they left.
yeah. Because
I'd agree.
we got a lot of Timu Riverboy characters, didn't we?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah.
And many attempts to make it happen again with other characters. The Barrett brothers were a really sort of soon one. Ash, Colby, like there were attempts again to keep it going that just didn't match up, I don't think, at the end.
Yeah.
Great stories as some of those were, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. I think the show tried to replicate it a few too many times because they knew that formula was insanely popular. And actually, it probably meant that some of the other characters ended up, and the other sort of stories that Home and Away for, that softer, warmer side of the show, which is there, despite what you might feel sometimes. That heart is still there, but that was sort of sacrificed a little bit during that time, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And especially when you look at a character like Tane, who's interacting with Brax in these episodes, and he feels the Parata family, they feel like they were the tail end of trying to get a Riverboy style family up and running.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because since this era, the show has focused on this big male star. And he is the latest of that. Tane is the big male Hulk of the show. And there's been one in each 3 or 4 year cycle, hasn't there, really, when you think about it, since there wasn't one before that, before the River Boys,
No.
And actually watching this unfold this week, watching the Tane time of the show collide with Daryl's time of the show, and just what it was apparent to me. I've written down lots of stuff in my notes this week about parallels, and and that's actually how he ends up getting Brax's help by realizing they have a lot in common. Even Ricky says it to him. So it's interesting when you think they're actually pretty similar characters.
Yeah, it is really interesting. And you've mentioned Ricky, so shall we talk about Ricky as a character?
If you want. Listen, right, I was team Brax and Charlie, and for me, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I never really bought into this big Brax and Ricky thing. So, I mean, and actually, I've caught myself this week. Everything I've done on social, getting prepped for this pod. I'm only talking about Brax. She's sort of the plus one for me. And I know that I don't mean to be awful about the character, because I think she did some great stuff on the show, but I preferred her with Nate, and I thought she did Nate dirty. I never forgave her for what happened there, and the way she was with Nate, and I was quite a fan of him. I think he was a decent person, and he even agreed to bring up this. what's turned out to be the most unbearable child. I don't know if you want to talk about it later.
You've really not took a shine to Pacey,
No.
have you?
Oh my god. Oh god, he's mithering about something constantly. Shut up.
Can I just let everyone in off podcast? Si said to me, just go and play with a snake, for God's sake. And I've been crying and laughing every time he comes on the screen because he keeps coming on and going, Mum, Mum, and all I can hear is in my head is Si going, oh, go away, go and play with a snake.
I'm literally saying that to myself watching the show. Oh. It's
So
not a
funny.
snake. Homework. Just get out of my sight. But it's funny because actually, Nate agreed to bring him up. And it's funny what kind of life this poor lad would have had instead of being hidden out in the desert somewhere. But anyway, he might have actually had friends to go play with. But yeah, so Ricky for me isn't it, and I wasn't very happy with this end game. I wasn't very happy he came back. Funny that again parallels. Tani gets a woman pregnant as he's going to prison, and you'll remember that massive episode where Brax went down and she found out she was pregnant at the same time. So yeah, I wasn't feeling Ricky Schmicky for me. And as it turns out, all we've seen this week is she's not happy.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Yeah. I think I feel similar to you in terms of Ricky because it's really hard to talk about Ricky without talking about Charlie. Because obviously Charlie, I mean, the first scene that I ever saw Brax in, and I see it replayed on the socials all the time, when they do a look back and, remember this iconic era or whatever. And it's the scene where Charlie is in Salt. So Charlie was the local policewoman, wasn't she? Police officer.
Yeah.
And she's in Salt. She's dressed up, for a night out. She's not in a uniform. She's having she's on her own time. She's having a nice time in the bar. She's dressed up. She looks amazing. And he walks in, doesn't he? Brax walks in like his plaid shirt or whatever, with his horde of boys. And she looks over at him and she like recognizes him immediately and goes, "Oh, I know who they are," because as a police officer, she'd know this notorious criminal gang from up the road from Mangrove River. And the looks they had between them, it was like fire instantly. And even though you knew that she was a copper and he was meant to be this bad guy from the wrong side of the tracks, you just were willing immediately for them to talk or have a scene together. Well, at least I was. I was just like, oh my god, they're gonna end up having an affair or something, because you could just tell by the on-screen chemistry, the way they looked at each other. It was just like, it was hot. And I don't think he ever had that with Ricky. The relationship he's got with Ricky is very, very different. And I don't find it like a typical infatuation, like, can't keep her hands off each other kind of love. She's more like his naggy mum sometimes. Like she stands up to him. Like he's quite he's quite confrontational, let's put it that way. But she gives as much as she gets. And she talks down to him, and she almost kind of like wears the trousers in that relationship in a way. And it's not as soft and energetic and kind of, I don't know what the word is really, between them as it was with him and Charlie. There was a different dynamic between them. So I think I preferred him with Charlie because it was more exciting, and it was like the good girl and the bad boy. Whereas
the forbidden fruit.
Definitely. Whereas with Ricky, I don't find her as interesting as a character. I don't find her as layered, or I don't know. There's not that kind of that sort of pull to make you go, well, I really want them to be together. I didn't have that at all with them. So I think, I feel the same as you. Unfortunately, bless her, I wasn't a massive fan of them as a couple.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I feel the same way as both of you, actually.
Oh no.
My problem is less their dynamic and more the fact that, unlike Charlie, Ricky never felt like a character that stood on her own aside from Brax. They've always come as a pair.
Yes.
And it was very much played up, she's a river girl. But when they were talking about her photography in these recent episodes, I'd completely forgotten that she was a photographer.
Yeah, I had. Yeah.
And it's so strange because so when I had my operation back in October, I started watching Spartacus.
Mm,
Yeah, that series, and Bonnie's obviously in that, and she's
Mm.
really good.
mm,
And I think the only reason that Ricky really works is because of Bonnie,
yes. Yeah.
because there's nothing else going on with this character at all, really.
She hasn't got a lot to work with, has she? So it's not
No,
that it's not her portrayal of the character. I think you're right. I think she as an actress is really, really good. It's just the character is not given that enough
yeah,
depth.
yeah,
Yeah.
And Charlie had loads of depth and she had loads of backstory, and the whole, sister but actually mother kind of relationship she had with Ruby
mm,
was really fascinating.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't even feel like I know much about Ricky, like without looking her up and cheating and saying, oh yeah, this is all the facts I know about her. I can't reel any facts off about her life before Brax. I don't know
yeah,
anything about her.
yeah.
She's
I mean,
she,
go
go
on,
on.
you go, Si.
I was going to say she's like the rebound
Mm,
of that stayed too long.
mm,
And you can't shake it. Like how do you follow
mm,
that forbidden policewoman crossing the line?
mm,
He was going to be ostracized from the gang for being in bed with the filth. There
yeah,
was loads of this on and off trust thing between them, wasn't there? She ultimately gave up everything to be with him, gave up her career, her family, everything, and then in the end paid the ultimate price. You
Yeah,
could say this about anyone who was going to come next, really.
mm,
They were always just going to be a vehicle for him,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
in my
Yeah.
eyes.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I rudely interrupted, Tamsin. What were you going to
No,
say?
I was gonna say, yeah, that's completely right. Unless you got him with a character that was like a Charlie, because she was already established on the bay before
mm,
he turned up. So
mm.
unless you did that again with another character and
Leah.
picked him up with some,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a shame because if there was a little bit more in there, you might feel a bit more about Ricky returning. And they're
Mm,
saying like Braxton Ricky, but let's be honest, it really is just Brax we're here for.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
What do you all think of like this week's episodes? Like, what is the? I'm watching this and I'm struggling with this Brax. He seems too different to me. Maybe,
Oh,
and I feel like it's been a bit of a slow burn. Like, are we going to?
yeah.
I just can't picture Brax living this way for a decade.
Mm.
It
Well, I
is a
think,
stretch, isn't it? For what we
and
knew of him, it's a stretch to come into this.
Yeah, yeah.
The cowboy entrance was a lot. I was like, I needed the whole of last weekend just to process what I'd seen, and only seen like 2 scenes. I was like, I need to think about this. I still don't know how I feel. In all honesty, it was such a shock.
I mean, I wonder if we need to separate the location that he's in
Mm,
from the way his characters come back, because to me, it feels like Steve stepped straight into Brax personally.
mm.
Interesting.
I think the same. I think he's matured, but I think he's underneath. I think he's the same Brax. I can still see
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Whereas the location, that's more difficult to get a handle on. But I
Mm,
Yeah.
think that for Brax, the most important thing for him is Ricky and Casey. Wherever they are, he will be happy. So
mm.
I
Mm,
wonder if that's what this is.
Yeah.
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 You're
Maybe
right.
I'll. Yeah. Do you know what? I'll consider myself told. I'll try. I must say though, don't hate the outdoor shower. Just saying.
Yeah, but
Thinking,
the wrong man was in it. I'm sorry. The wrong man was in the shower for me.
listen, Sophie, we could have had both of them in it,
Well,
right?
that would have been a lot better. Yes.
I might have been late to the pod.
Maybe that's next week when they've had a few more beers after the whatever the wrangling on Monday, or whatever they're doing. God knows. I've no idea. I can't talk cattle checks. I know nothing
Oh
about
dear, me dear,
farms.
wrangling dear.
I know nothing about cows and farms.
No,
I'm
no. I tell
Well,
you
clueless.
what, this looks good
I
though on screen, doesn't it?
It's beautiful. That
it really
gorge
does.
was literally gorge, you know? It was like, oh, so beautiful.
It really
Yes.
was lovely. And that beach, it looked like they'd done
Mm.
something to the colours because it didn't look real. Let's be
I
honest.
know.
Yeah, I think they have color graded these episodes. I think they do look nicer than
Very
probably,
orange.
yeah,
Mm.
probably what was happening on screen at the time.
I tell you what though, I think we were talking, weren't we, last week about the money
Mm.
And we were talking about, because they've done like a deal with the tourist board, haven't they? The money that's been spent on this location. I don't know, like, you just watching some of the other soaps, I'm thinking, gosh, Home and Away feels so like expensive when you
Right.
watch it, especially at the moment. I mean, car crash, train, oh god, all the transport, train crashes, this location film, you know what I mean? Like, there's just loads of money at the minute, and I don't know. You're just watching it thinking, gosh, this is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And also, it's not sacrificing the character stuff either, because
No.
sometimes soaps go on holiday and it feels terrible,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
that doesn't feel like this.
No, I get that. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes it feels jarring, doesn't it, when we go to a different
Yeah,
location and you're like, it's the same characters, but we're in a weird place. And
yeah,
because
Yeah.
the location on Home and Away, the beach and the surf club is so important. I was saying to Side the other day, like the beach is like, for me, like one of the main characters on the show
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
just so iconic. But it doesn't feel jarring watching this because we know they don't live in the bay anymore, so they have to live somewhere else. So and like you say, the character development's there. Although I am getting a bit frustrated by the end of the week with Brax not even talking to Tane and barely asking him a question, and they just
mm,
seem to just grunt at each other and raise an eyebrow. And I'm like, I can do so much of that, Brax, but sometimes you just need to sit and have a bloody conversation with someone and just
yeah,
be like,
Mm.
"You're right, mate. So what are you here for? And tell us about your family." And is he not even curious? I mean, Ricky's asking questions. What's the bay like now? And I used to live
Yeah.
there, and he's
Yeah.
not even curious about it. The first thing I would do is be like, what's changed? What's happened? Who lives there still? I'd be asking him questions,
yeah,
but he
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be probing him or asking him anything. It just seems to be, and they've made this decision to let him stay there, and they're just really pissed off that he's there. And I'm like, but you invited him.
yeah,
Mm. It's
So
funny, isn't
yeah,
it? Because that conversation when he met him, which I assume was Perth, maybe
yes,
in the
yeah,
city, and they met on the bridge, and he was like wanting to know what the deal is before he committed to it. And when he
mm,
said, "Yeah, I've got," he said, "What you talk? Why have you run? When you've
mm,
you've all you've done
mm,
is
mm.
your first offence, blah, blah, blah," and he tells him he's kidnapped a kid, and he goes, nah, see ya. I thought we were going to get more of that sort of stuff,
Mm.
yeah,
and then that's pretty much where it stopped, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah, he stopped asking him questions. It's like, oh, come on, keep asking him stuff. Because
yeah,
part of me wants him to just keep having a go at Tane for all his poor life decisions. Because I'm like, I felt a little bit like vindicated that Brax was having a go at him for kidnapping a baby. And I was like, finally, somebody's had a go at this bloody fella. And not just been like, oh, poor Tane. Oh, his heart was in the right place. Like, no, he kidnaps a baby. Like,
You're right. It hasn't sacrificed. I think the weak link for Tani getting there, and we can talk about that, I'm sure, till the cows
mm,
come home. um, but I think that saves it just
mm,
in that it's not the usual. I've won a holiday on the radio. Let's go
yeah,
now.
yeah,
to the yogurt factory. Yes.
I think they've just explained it enough.
Mm,
yeah, yeah. You don't have to
yes.
do too many mental jumps.
Yeah,
No. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it is feeling like maybe the anticipation, the hype was bigger. But I don't want to be negative, but I'm sure it's they're stretching it out, right? They want to show much of this as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it does feel like Tani's gone there, sat in the shed for 2 days. He got done for going for a walk, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, yeah. And they went for a river cruise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did he pull that like tourist barge from?
He's probably robbed it, hasn't he? He could take the boy out of Mangrove River, but
He just nutted the poor guy who was trying to, yeah.
oh dear,
Right.
it is funny.
It really is. It really is funny. But it does, you're right though. It does feel like we're getting a little bit less interactions. And maybe that's because we've only got a certain amount of time with these actors.
Yes, yeah,
Mm.
Yeah,
And also,
definitely.
I think weather's playing a factor as well. Because have you noticed how many scenes they're doing where they're under something because it's that hot
Yeah.
that it doesn't seem like they can be outside for that long?
Yeah, it looks boiling, and I wondered whether they were having, the scenes where they were getting in the car and talking in the car, and I thought, is that because it's got aircon
Yes,
in the
yeah,
car?
Oh, you don't think about this stuff, do you? But all the equipment,
yeah,
Yeah.
be
the
boiling.
cameras and the
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
and their makeup and everything. Like Ricky's got
Mm.
makeup, stage makeup on or whatever, and she's going to be melting under that sun. So
yeah.
they've gone stick her in the car, put the aircon on her, and she she won't look like
Well,
she's melting.
they definitely put Brax's tattoo on fresh, didn't they?
Yes, he must have had that redone, doll. I reckon. Touch up. Oh
Oh,
dear, very fresh
So,
looking. Yeah.
shall we talk briefly about Casey, the cursed child?
Go on, sorry.
I think I've said enough.
Because I just want to say, I was never, look, people are going to come for me now, right? But
Mm,
I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
go for
I
it.
was never the biggest fan of, let's call him Casey Sr., right?
Mm.
And it feels like Casey Jr. has inherited many of the whiny, you know. He's
Oh no.
living up to his name, is all I'm going to say.
So what was your beef with Casey Senior then, if we're going to call him that?
I think he was just really whiny
Yeah.
and he wouldn't do what he was told. I know that's the point. He was meant to be like the rebellious kid who'd been sheltered by his brother, and that was the point. But to me, he just got on my nerves.
You weren't bereft at his death then, like millions of other viewers.
I was
Um,
sad for Brax.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that whole scene, I mean, you can't find it now on YouTube. It's not there.
Really?
But I remember seeing it and being so, like, the acting from
Mm.
everybody in that was incredible. And
Mm.
then Steve himself, I mean, you can see why he's got the career he's got because he's an
Mm.
exceptional actor, let's be
Mm.
honest.
Yes.
And he's amazing in those scenes. And they are so tragic because Casey dying like that is his nightmare, let's be honest.
Mm.
And it's so powerful but no, I mean I didn't miss Casey, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough, I think. Yeah, you can mourn a death in its moment, but not mourn a
Yeah,
character. Yeah, I
yeah.
think so. Yeah.
And it was such a catalyst as well for
Mm.
what came later. And
Yeah.
we had all those run-ins and it set Brax really on this path that led him to living out in that cattle station.
Very
You
true.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, because everything from that point on was
It's
eye
Casey's
for an
fault.
eye. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it was revenge.
Yeah.
yeah,
Plain and simple. That episode, obviously, when it happened and the police are there and they're trying to talk him out of was it a garage or a chicken shed or something?
It was another
Um,
shed, definitely.
yeah,
and he won't go, will he? And then eventually,
yeah.
when he does go, it's just the red mist.
Mm.
It's in the car. Right, I'm gonna find the
Mm,
who did this.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
and then that, like you say, dominoed into the next few years, and then him leaving.
Mm.
Um,
yeah,
and then faking his death and coming. Oh god. Anyway, but yeah, Casey, I actually didn't out of because he was the youngest. He was the thing with him was he was in the school crowd.
Mm.
So
yeah.
obviously he was going to Summer Bay High, and he was in with Ruby and Romeo and those lot. So he had other things outside of the family.
Mm.
Mm,
Like he was really not really involved in the worst of it. They protected him from it. So
Mm.
yeah,
his storylines were more, and well, towards the end they weren't. He was a bit more involved in the family, especially after graduation, or whatever. But he definitely sort of was a bit more classic, run of the mill
Mm.
home
yeah,
and away teen, wasn't he? At
Yeah.
that
yeah,
stage.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I did think, I think you're right. I think he's not really one of those characters that made a massive mark on the show,
Mm.
like Brax has. But I think he made a mark on that family
Yeah,
um,
Mm.
by taking a bullet.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, we've spoken a bit about Charlie, and it's interesting that Casey and Charlie both are gunned down.
Mm,
That's true. Hadn't thought about that. Yeah, very similar.
Mm,
Yeah.
this is
yeah,
for my brother. I was imitating that for about 12 months. Um, we needed the pod at that time,
Oh,
really,
I
we did.
know, we did.
But yeah, new Casey is too goody for me.
Mm.
He's too
Mm.
sheltered. He's too. He doesn't look like he's from. Like, I want him to be like, this is my calling. I should be bad. But he's way too good.
But
Yeah, but
you can't
it's
be like that in that environment, can you? The way that he's been brought up is so different to the way that Ricky and
yeah,
Brax have been brought up. I can't. If he was like
Exactly.
Brax, it would be unrealistic, wouldn't it? You'd just be like,
yeah.
come on.
And it also shows that Brax hasn't learned the mistakes that he did with Casey Senior, OG
Mm,
Casey, because Casey was really sheltered, as we've said,
yeah,
and like he's done it again, but with his son, and he sheltered him even more because he's out in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's true. Yeah.
Although, in fairness, Casey Senior, as we're calling him, even though he's forever young, I wanna be. He shot his dad.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he was exposed to this, and I'm wondering if now Tane's here,
Mm,
whether this little so and so is going to be exposed to some things that are going to petrify him.
probably.
I'm hoping so.
He's gonna wet his knickers. That's what's gonna happen.
Tane's going to try and run off with him. That's what I'm thinking.
He's a bit heavier than a baby, but I reckon he can still probably run with him in a rucksack somewhere. Yeah.
He's free from his tag. He's got a Jono on his passport. World's his oyster.
Yeah. Stuff him in a duffel bag, and off he goes.
Probably give the game away. Out the bag. Can I do my homework?
Mom.
He was going on about a cow in the car. Do you want this car for something?
Yeah.
Who is this child?
I had to put the subtitles on for the Casey Junior lines because I didn't know what he was talking about when she was like, What's this about a calf?" I was like, "Did they say calf or car?" I was like, "What are they saying?" I had to put the subtitle. I still don't
I
understand.
don't know, because when he speaks, they shush him.
Yeah.
I've no idea.
No wonder he's got no social skills. Not allowed to talk. Oh dear.
Oh no, my tummy really hurts. Oh, sorry, hang on.
Sorry, we know we've ruined the show for your Monday, don't you?
Oh my god, okay.
Oh, so funny.
Okay, so I want to talk about thoughts on the soap having brought them back and these type of returns.
Mm.
So, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, interesting. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings. I don't know about you guys. Like, I really wanted to see Brax again, just from a selfish point of view. But I am not a massive fan, and I've said this quite a few times in the podcast. I'm not a massive fan of bringing people back for the sake of it.
Mm,
I
yeah,
I tend to I move on pretty quickly, which I probably is why I like Home and Away, because Home and Away seems to bounce from storyline to storyline pretty quickly, and then you're done with that one. I don't mind a little bit of referring back to what's happened and like keeping the continuity going, but in terms of bringing people back, I've never really been a fan of that, because I'm like, I've moved on,
yeah,
I've forgotten them, kind of thing. So I was really like cautious and not looking forward to this, was I? So when it was announced, because I was like, I've got mixed feelings, because I love Brax, and he was one of my faves when he was on the show, and he's kind of responsible for the new Home and Away, which I adore. Like, I love the grittier crime sort of stories, and I really get into those kind of stories. So I love that era, but I didn't want them to ruin it. I didn't want them to bring him back and then to sort of go, oh well, that's tainted my kind of nostalgia of how good it was and how much I enjoyed the show back then.
yeah.
And I don't, at the moment, I don't think it has ruined it for me. I think it's been an interesting week, but I've not seen enough yet to go, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen, or like, this was a really good idea, or I'm enjoying watching it, but it's not because the storyline to get here has been a bit flimsy in terms of getting Tane there, and I'm like, why did you run? What's the point of this? Where are we going? And
Mm.
now it looks like possibly Joe's heading out there. So, you know, if Joe's going to
Oh,
go, Sarge is going to follow her because she's going to be on her own passport, turning up on the other side of the country. Oh, hello, where does she go? Oh, he must be over there.
I don't think Sarge has got the skills. It'll be Cash, if you ask me.
It'll be Cash. It'll be somebody. But this secret feels like so close to being rumbled already, and it's only
Mm.
been a few episodes. So
yeah,
I'm
I
not,
know.
I'm almost still biting my lip and thinking I don't know where this is going yet. So I'm sort of holding back my judgment of the story at the moment. I think. What
Ricky
about
best
you?
get the barbecue up and fired up because half the bay's headed there.
I know. I'm just imagine everyone rocking up, and then they're being like, "Oh, we've been here for 10 years, and 2 days into like having this bloke here, and they found us all." You know, it's going to be. Oh, I don't know. I've got a bit of a bad feeling about it, but
yeah,
yeah, I'm trying to reserve judgment and try and keep an open mind, but it's difficult, isn't it?
I
yeah.
think if they were ever going to do it, it was going to be Brax, right? And
Mm,
I think home and away do it so infrequently that I don't
Mm.
mind it.
mm,
I sort of fall on the same side as Sophie, but I don't mind a returning nostalgia. I'm just not obsessed with it.
mm,
Right.
Mm.
And I think some people get a bit stuck in that nostalgia feeling and pine for something. And more often than not, it's like a holiday, isn't it? You have a fantastic holiday, you have the time of your life, you think, we'll come
Yeah,
back here again next year. You get there and it's not as good
mm,
yeah,
as the
yeah,
first time you were there, doesn't it? So
yeah.
I think it's a little you run the risk of that.
mm,
Now, I found the River Boys. I actually dipped out of the show a year or two before they arrived. It was getting a bit 2010, the year of the Bay of Love and all that crap. And I was like, oh, for God's sake. Um, and um, and then I was back before they arrived back. So I do remember them arriving, but they did shake it up, and it was
mm,
exciting. And at the time, it was great, and you just knew things were changing. And we were seeing it happen and unfold in front of our eyes.
mm,
They'd swarm and take over stuff, and it was novel. Like,
Yeah.
oh my
mm.
god, they've just wrecked Angelo's. like, like that's never happened before. Um,
Yeah.
but by the end, I'd even say post Charlie, this Ricky era, let's call it the second half of Brax's tenure, I was done. I was
Mm,
fed up. He was every storyline.
Mm. Yeah,
He, it was overkill, and I think the show went too far. So
mm,
when he left, I was ready for it, and I was ready for that era, the Braxtons, to be gone out of my life, never to be ushered again.
mm.
Then we
yeah.
had all these blooming spin-offs, didn't we? Bianca and him came back, and Heath did come back, although Tane's not mentioned it, but he has met Heath, even
But
though he was asking about his
but
brothers this
I was
week.
going to say, does he know that they're even related? Because they've not even had that conversation. He's
No,
not.
but
He said my brother Casey, but he's not mentioned Heath. And I think if he said Heath,
you
Riverboy,
might the penny might drop. You think it,
eventually,
Yeah.
like you say, if they were talking about and asking each other questions, though, he might mention that he's met a river boy
yeah,
before. Anyway,
yeah,
but I think enough time has passed to get for me to be okay with it. I think 10
mm,
years is enough
yeah,
for us to still remember who he is
mm,
and appreciate that legacy, but to not be thinking, oh, they're peddling him out again.
mm,
I think
Yeah.
there's been enough time.
mm,
And I think they could only do it with Brax. I don't think it'd work with anybody else,
mm.
really.
Yeah.
From this sort of last 20 years of the show. Tamsin, over to you. What's your thoughts?
Well, I have to say, I completely agree with both of you actually. And I wanted to say, obviously, I am a Neighbours viewer. I was a Neighbours fan. And I've got to be honest, I think the worst thing that ever happened to Neighbours is it disappeared up its own nostalgia bum hole, right?
Yeah, no, you've
And
said this before to me when we've done stuff. Yeah, no,
yeah,
you have.
and it
Mm.
wouldn't allow new characters to come in and become what the old characters had been. And
Mm,
it was living in the past because it was dictated to by some fans, or I think the worst thing that can happen in the world is that writers are fans of the show. I
Yeah,
mm,
think You need writers who come in, write for the show, create characters, and we see that in Home and Away.
Mm.
And that's why it works. That's why it feels fresh,
Yeah.
because it's got this heritage, but the heritage is embodied in people like Alf
Mm.
and Marilyn and Leah. And we don't necessarily have to live in that space. We actually have those characters in it. Now,
Yeah.
when they have gone, when Alpha's gone, it may be a different story,
Mm.
but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
If I think he's gonna live forever. Come on.
Yeah, I think he probably will too. Let's keep that in mind.
He'll just be in
But
Marimbula somewhere, you know, just
yeah,
popping back sometime. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. But the thing is that I agree with you guys. Doing it now with
Mm.
Brax is the right thing to do. I
Yeah.
always think there's this tendency to bring characters back from the past. And the thing is, if they went off into the sunset together,
Mm.
happy ever after, if one actor doesn't want to come back, then you essentially have to break them up,
Yeah.
right?
True.
And for
Yeah.
what reason? Okay.
Mm.
And then when they, let's be honest, right, coming back into a soap, you've successfully left, you've survived the
Mm.
car accidents, the train crashes, the helicopter crashes, the serial killers, you have survived. So to come back in just means you're running the gamut again.
Yeah.
And if your character doesn't work this time around, then you're probably going to be on the chopping block. And we have seen a lot of characters, not just in Home and Away, but in EastEnders. You had Zoe come back. You
Mm.
had I
Cindy.
watched, yeah,
Oh God.
Cindy,
Yeah.
and it's just, yeah, you don't necessarily need to live in the past.
No. No. Definitely not. And I'm not enjoying EastEnders right now for that very reason. Is that I feel like I'm watching EastEnders from 20 years ago, and I don't.
They,
I'm over it. You know.
honestly, I think they've brought back as many people from the 90s on that show that we've got main cast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have.
Honestly, and it's ridiculous. And they're all
Mm.
just doing nothing.
Mm.
yeah,
Oh,
Well,
but
they're not doing nothing. They're doing the same thing they did 20 years. The same lines. They're
yeah,
talking about the same shit they talked about 20 years ago. It's like, get over
yeah.
and
it.
it's exactly what happened to Neighbours. It's
Yeah.
exactly what happened to Neighbours. They brought these legacy characters back. They didn't know what to do with them. They underused them. They used them in the wrong ways, and consequently, the cast was stuffed full of people whose
Mm.
characters had lived long past their expiration date. They
Yeah.
weren't doing anything.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, it's. I think you've got to be brave, haven't you? Like when you're running these types of shows, like you
Yeah,
say, I am wholeheartedly in that camp, the same as you. You should not, especially the boss should not be a super fan of
Mm.
the
yeah,
show because they'll like you say bring back things from their childhood that they loved. They'll bring
yeah,
back people, it's at the detriment of moving the story forward. So yeah,
Mm.
I think this feels okay for now, but we are early days.
Mm.
mm,
I think a lot of the time as well, there are other pressures when you're writing these shows, when you're running these shows as well from the networks, and the networks might go, right, we need 2 big points this year where we need to do a ratings boost or
Mm.
something. There's a business side to TV, isn't there? That I think we as
yeah,
fans and oh god, I'm shivering, but I'm going to say content creators on the back of this, right? We're here, doing podcasts about it. I think we forget
Yeah.
that behind the scenes, there's a big string being pulled by the network who might go,
sure,
we need
Mm.
some big event that's going to
Mm.
draw in old viewers. And then we've got this plan to keep them for, to hook people back in, with this demo's dropped. So we need something that and it needs to be someone they know,
Mm.
and things like there's all these things go into the decision making as well,
yeah,
don't they?
Yeah.
And I
yeah,
think you're right. I think as the soap audience grows older, as young people just don't even turn the TV on,
Mm.
yeah,
I think they're trying to now, some of these soaps facilitate the older viewers more.
Mm.
yeah,
But I don't think it's the right decision. Because
Mm.
yeah,
I think what you're saying to the older viewer is you're not capable of enjoying a fresh young story and a
Mm.
yeah,
new idea.
Mm.
I don't
yeah,
think that's the right message.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you there. I think you were spot on. And it's also saying we've given up. We're not trying to get any new younger audiences back. That's it. We're just until you all drop off your perch, then what we're
Yeah.
gonna do then, don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. And Home and Away in its main market, I mean, this story particularly was in the press. It broke record ratings. You know, I think these shows can still prove that they can pull in the audience and rate well if you know what you're doing and you know your audience.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't rate mega like it did here, like in its heyday and in other countries, but it's not made for us primarily.
No.
You know.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's it. I mean, this is probably the most made for us that this version of Home and Away actually is, because this is an ad really for the rest of the world,
That's true.
specifically
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So we're getting that version of Australia that they want to show us. Ordinarily, Home and Away really is just for Australian people.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
true.
interesting. But we are getting some clunky bits of dialogue, like, isn't this the most beautiful place? It's always like this every day.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, but no,
Yeah.
I completely agree with both of you. It is it's a difficult tightrope to walk on. You don't want to hit this button too many times.
No.
Mm,
No. And is the point of this, because we've been talking quite a lot on the podcast about how Tane seems to be the main character, the golden boy. He seems to be involved in all the storylines, even if they don't really need his involvement. He just seems to be involved with them somehow anyway.
Mm.
Is the whole point of bringing Brax and Ricky back? It's like a temporary attention, like to get someone's attention that used to watch the show back in the day, and
Yeah,
it's like almost come back for Brax and stay for Tane, like to try
yeah.
and lure them back in,
Yeah.
and then go, okay, Brax isn't sticking around, but look at this guy
Yeah.
who's in
Yeah.
all the storylines right now, and
Taking a cold shower.
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
does feel a bit like, yeah, and you've come back for Brax, but stay for Tane because he's just as good. And I'm like, nah.
Mm. And he's a baby snatcher, and he's on the run, and he's cut his tag off. He's a bad boy as well. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
facing time, like they're hoping, and that's the clever thing about the story, as holy as it is, right? That's the clever thing, because the lapsed viewer who's come for Brax now are going to be like, well, is he gonna go down? Like,
Mm,
I need to see this through. How many times have you watched and gone, right, I need to stick with this now. I need to find out what happens.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's
And
the clever thing here with this.
I
Mm,
agree. And we're also getting the complicated relationships of Tani, because we're finding out about Harper, about
mm,
Archie, about Jolene. So, yeah, I
yeah.
mean, they are filling out his life. We found out that he's got two dead brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I genuinely think, next week, Joe, swiftly followed by Cash with his incognito cap on, are going to be turning up, and it's all hell's going to break loose. But I'm here for it, because all we've done at the
Yeah.
minute is stare at the view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We need that story to like kick in now, don't we?
Yeah.
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 Definitely. Yeah.
Because we've established enough. We know who everybody is. We know where they are. We know why they are. Now give us some story beats.
And inevitably, it's got to be shaken up because Brax's life, and I think the thing that I'm sort of struggling with, it's too neat,
Yeah.
it's too stable, it's a bit boring. He looks content in that he's got his family and they're not, he's not in prison and they're all together and that kind of thing. But at
Yeah.
the same time, he does look a little bit bored.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
this is going to reignite that, and then it's going to play on Ricky's insecurities. She's already she's already like, we've got a good thing here,
Yeah. Which tells me that it's not going to last long. We've got it really good. We've had it really good for 10 years. And I'm like, right, so it's going to be over in a minute then.
Hell yeah. Bring it on.
It also feels like they've got this thing hanging over them as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because, okay, if it's not Tani, eventually it will be something. And I thought it was interesting we had that conversation, which was just to mirror the lives of, I think, Brax and Tani. But also, Brax isn't in contact with Heath. He's not visiting Kyle in the prison. He's not seeing Bianca. He's not seeing his nephew or niece. I can't remember what the gender was. And Casey's not having that connection with his family either. And you know the sort of person that Brax was, this is not what he hoped Casey would have.
No.
No.
Yeah. Mm.
So maybe this is an opportunity to dig them out of that hole as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. I just feel like Tane is a walking curse, and I feel like every time he gets close to a new person, he kind of obliterates. Oh, what's going on?
He's so surly as well.
Yeah.
Well, also he like. What are Brax's charges? Because he was exonerated, wasn't he?
He was, but he broke out of prison, didn't he? So
He escaped.
I
Yeah,
think that is a crime.
that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's worse, prison or. I mean, this is a bit of a prison, if you ask me. I'm really not feeling this location.
I was listening to you guys last week talk about this on your podcast about Tane's baffling decision to go on the run and never see his son versus seeing his son on scheduled visits in prison. No, it's not great.
Yeah.
But neither's being a completely absent father.
No. True. Yeah.
And it's just, you're in the middle of nowhere. You can he can't see Nico again or anyone.
No. And Nico doesn't even know he's gone. I mean, how's he going to find out? And his house is sat there completely furnished, and all his stuff's exactly where he left it. The gym's exactly as he left it.
Well,
it's all saying to me that this is temporary, because if
door
you were
wide
really,
open.
if you would, the door's not even locked. Half the bay's been round and had a nosy. Not being funny. They've all gone in and gone, oh, I don't like that splashback.
No, but I'll have that vase. He'll never know.
But that to me is telling me it's got to be temporary. This can't be a guy that's gone forever, because all this stuff will be in storage or sold or in the skip, or you know what I mean. He's literally walked out on his life as if he's just disappeared into thin air, and his gym's still there and his house is still. It's bizarre.
I think he was I think the idea behind this stupid thought process was to buy time to look for Kerry. But there isn't anything in place, like you say, to do that. Did he just think Cash would psychopathically carry on looking for her?
Yeah.
Telepathically, I should have said. Maybe psychopathically.
Psychopathically, I think is more accurate.
But where's the plan? If you were trying to buy time, which is obviously what it is, because you only got given 1 week exactly. Also, you'd have gone after your bail check-in, just saying, because you probably wouldn't have had another one in a week. But let's not go to that granular detail. But yeah, where's the plan? Now Cash has stopped looking for Kerry and he's looking for you moron.
Yeah. And he wants his 40k back. What the hell? I'm furious about this.
Honestly, Sarge is going to bang him up if he gets in before he leaves.
Honestly.
And that's gonna send my blood pressure up.
And can we just have a slight tangent and talk about Mac and the fact that she had that sort of showdown with Cash and said, my friendship with Tane is never in question. Can't say the same about you.
Disgusting.
Oh my God. My literally went, you what?
Honestly. I choked on my toast.
Fuming. Why has Mac inserted herself in this? I know you've got a theory, sorry, that she wants Tane, right? And
at least doesn't want anyone else to have him, maybe.
Yeah. He's out in the middle of nowhere now.
Yeah. Him and the cows. Yeah.
It does make you feel like, why didn't anyone stop and think? It doesn't have to be this kind of breakneck kind of hectic. We need to get out. Like you said, why not wait? Why not do the first check-in, then run, then give yourself a bit of time, give yourself a week, etc. Why not try to track Kerry down yourself? Or if you're going to go on the run, why not go fully, that's the reason why I'm doing it? Because let's be honest, if the police are after you and you manage to find her, they can catch both of you at the same time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right.
But even then,
He's not even tried to help himself, though, has he? All he's done actively himself, without anybody else getting involved and doing something, all he's done is run away. All he's literally done for himself is pack a bag and run away. Everybody
yeah,
else has rallied around him. Everyone else has got him a solicitor. Everyone else has got him bail money. Everyone else has gone looking for leads, trying to find Uncle
Oh,
Fred.
you've set her off
yeah.
now.
Oh, sorry, I do go on. I do. I can't help it. I do.
You're right.
I
You're right.
completely agree with you. You are spot on there. And he's so surly. He expects these things
Yeah.
as if they're given gratis.
Yeah, and now Max catching it, because last week, Tane was all like, "Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to throw me under the bus again?" And now Max doing it to Cash, and I'm like, "No, Cash is not the enemy here. Cash has done nothing wrong."
I know. Cash has put a blooming shift in. Let me tell you,
He
he's the only
has.
one putting his neck on the line. I think he's being done proper dirty, Cash, and I think he's a pillock for carrying on now.
He
I
is.
really do.
He is.
And I think he should just let the DPP or whoever sort it out. Let Sarge do it from his armchair. Honestly, I think he should. Especially, and the way Mac talked to him, she's bang out of order, and I'm really cross with her. I stood up. You know when I get cross and I stand up watching it.
Did you clench your fists?
Pace in the room. I thought, how dare she? Because if she spoke to me like that after everything I'd done for him, she's made one phone call. Where was she when he needed bailing out? Do you know what I mean?
She's acting like she's head of the mafia now.
I know.
She's strutting around the bay like, yeah, I can make people disappear. What of it? Don't ask me questions.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's this come from? Like, what?
And Dean,
just a parachute.
Dean does whatever she says when she rings up.
Yeah.
Do me a favour.
Yeah. And now she's throwing her brother under the bus by telling Joe, oh yeah, he's near Exmouth in Western Australia.
Oh my God.
Worst kept secret.
Is it not Exmouth? It's driving me mad, that.
Exmouth, apparently. Like Isaac. I've started a spreadsheet of Duolingo words for Aussie slang. Isaac and Exmouth are the nearest on the list.
Making me twitch every time they say it.
Honestly, well, I'm in Somerset, so Exmouth isn't that far away from me, and I'm thinking,
really?
That's where they are?
Perusing the nearest Sue Rider.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I do want to say though, now I've the image of Cy stood up with his little hands clenched. I'm just thinking of that meme of Arthur.
Oh yes, where it goes into the fist. Like yes,
yeah,
yes.
It's accurate. It's very accurate. I think honestly, I'd have nutted her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should have. I think she should have. Oh, he should have, should he? Yeah. It's just awful. It's awful.
Also, I think you should have banged when it all, because I mean, she's doing it off her phone. When this all comes out and half the bay's implicated, I think you should lock them all up, and then we'll have a new cast revamp.
Oh dear.
Now, can I ask you guys? So obviously we've talked about nostalgia and only doing this once, etc., etc. But now I'm gonna go back on everything I've just said, and I'm gonna say, if you could do this, if you could bring one character back like this, who would you bring back?
Wow. I need a minute to think. Have you got an idea? Sorry.
Well, there's not, like I said earlier, there's not many I think it would work with. However, I think we're about 18 months out from the 40th, right? Yeah. So I think if Alfie, bless him, he's holding on till then.
Stop it! You're gonna make me cry. Stop it.
I think Sally will do it. I think that's an obvious one. I think everyone's going to say that, but I actually think she will at some point for Alf's exit. I think that's what it'll be, and it'll be a flash. Do you remember when Pippa came back for the wedding? It'll be a one episode thing. I think that would happen. And I actually don't think you need to sort of predict it. I think it's probably going to happen. But, I think she would do it. The other one I was thinking was actually Irene. I
Yeah.
actually think, um, you know, it'd be a couple of years later by that point, she comes back and obviously we maybe it's a death then,
God,
but it's the
morbid.
40th year, of the show. I think that would be a good opportunity to do something like that. Other than that, I don't really want to see anybody else because they're not really relevant.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of somebody that I want
Maybe,
to see.
maybe Ryder.
Yeah, Ryder would be good,
Yeah.
but temporary. I think I don't think I want him back full time.
Uh-huh.
I think that's the thing. I'm sort of struggling because everyone I'm sort of thinking of in my head as we're sort of talking it through, I'm thinking, well, they're dead, and he's dead, and she's dead, and it's
Mm.
like a lot of the characters that I would have liked to have seen more of have actually perished in some way or another because it's a soap and that's what happens. I think the
Mm.
only one I think where there's like a loose end, let's put it that way, that
Mm.
has always felt a little bit sort of strange. Not that I'm saying I want to see it because it's not my favorite character or two of my favorite characters is Martha Jr. and Rue.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Martha
that's the
Jr.
elephant in the room, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and having a scene with them in the same room. But I'm not saying I want to see it. I'm just saying there's a lot of loose ends with that
Yeah.
storyline that
Yeah.
doesn't sit comfortably with me. And we do talk about it a lot on the podcast, don't we, Si? Like
Mm.
the elephant in the room and Martha and Rue. And if Rue is going to come back soon, which I think she is, because obviously Alf's just legged it off to Marimboliv to see. He calls it Martha's house, which is really weird for me. But there we go. I'm off to Martha's house. So I was like, okay, that's your wife. Like, is it not your house as well? It's weird. But anyway, so he's obviously going to drag Rue back to the bay soon because I'm quite enjoying her not being around at the moment. But
Yeah.
she's going to be back soon. And what are we going to do with her when she comes back?
Yeah.
And one of the storylines that we haven't had is her, well, them acknowledging this the fact that Martha came back and was on the show for years and Rue wasn't, and then she's gone and then Rue's come back, and
Yeah.
it's always been a bit strange to me, that
Yeah.
relationship.
Yes, I agree. And my great phobia now is that Rue and David get together
Oh,
Oh.
because, oh my God, I absolutely loathe Sarge David. I'm not going to lie. I am
Yes.
so with
Oh,
Sai on this.
that's
I
hilarious.
love this.
Oh, I love it. No,
I
tell me I know we're meant to be here about Brax and Ricky, but just tell me briefly, what's your
I
deal with
can't
Sarge? Is it the
I
same as
can't
Si?
I can't stand him. I
Yeah.
just don't like
The way he breathes.
that is just there's something suspicious about him. And he doesn't really care about his daughter. He's a
No.
terrible boss to Claire. And he's just a really loathsome character. I'm like, what is the okay, Sophie, you're a fan, so tell me redeemable features that he has.
I can't. This is the thing. I said to Si, I can't defend him. I think he's awful. I think he is a terrible dad. I think he has a favourite child, which is Joe. He treats Lacey like absolute crap. Left her with a stalker. And
Yeah,
he's focused on putting the other one's boyfriend in prison and left the other one to rot basically, and now she's a
yeah,
murderer. He's terrible. He's a terrible boss. I'm a massive fan of Cash. He treats Cash like dirt. I can't
yeah.
really defend him, but I don't dislike him either, and I don't know why. I can't explain it, and I find it really, really funny that other people find him. The only thing I would say that I do find him hilarious because when I watch him, and I've been saying this to Si for weeks, it's like he just looks so exhausted, and the way that he portrays him, he
Mm,
just looks like he's got no energy whatsoever. Like he hasn't eaten a meal in weeks. He's never slept a full night's sleep for decades. And there's something about that I just find hysterical whenever he's on the screen. And I don't find him annoying. I just find him funny, and I don't think he's
yeah.
meant to be. I just do.
Surely that's not being done deliberately.
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody check that man's vitamin D levels because there's something wrong with him. He's just too sleepy.
He riles me up no end. The actor, obviously he's been in the show before. He's been in
Yeah.
Heartbreak High as well. We know
Yes.
the actor's capable.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this? What is going on?
Is it because
Why?
we've given him the wrong role? Because when they cast him as a policeman, I was convinced he was going to be like a really bent cop. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then I know that he does bend the rules, Sarge, because he's double standard Stave, and he says you do this, but I'll do the opposite, and that kind of thing. But I don't really see him as a bent cop, like doing anything illegal. But when he was cast in that role, that's what I was expecting him to be, because I've seen him as a bad guy previously, and that's how my brain associates him. So I was expecting him to be doing dodgy dealings on the side.
No, sorry, I'm not taking the blame for this. No, he's horrendous.
They haven't done anything to make him. They haven't fleshed him out at all.
No.
He's just sergeant of the police. We got a little bit about his wife, and
Yes.
I thought, give us a bit more of that, right? Like, give us more of, because he was placed in an impossible situation, right? But he had to back one daughter, that turned the other daughter away. He lost his wife and Lacey, but he had to back Jo because she's his other child, right? Like, he's an impossible situation. And he's been trying to bring Lacey back into the fold, and that has succeeded. But we kind of stopped at some point and just always in the police station, or always kind of moaning at someone, like
Yeah,
picking them up on
he's
their
on
behaviour.
oh my God, he's on everyone's back constantly. He says hello and it makes me feel like I want to die.
I just find it hilarious. I'm sorry.
It's just, I think if he's going to stay, they need to do something radically different with him. They need to humanize him. Maybe give him a storyline outside of the police and outside of being a dad.
Yeah.
Just don't put him with Marilyn. She deserves better than this, right?
No. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Fundamentally as well, he doesn't know how to police this small town.
No.
Yeah.
And that's why he's not getting on with Cash, who does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't know whether he's trying to protect Tani by playing everything by the book, so that it goes to trial and it's a proper trial, or if he is completely, like you say, like he's dodgy and he's just coming at him because he doesn't like him going out with his daughter.
Yeah.
And the writing's not clear and the characterization isn't clear. So you feel like you dislike him.
Yeah.
As a result.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. Can't argue. No notes.
Or he's just a knob.
Honestly, that family, apart from Lacey, the other two can get in the bin.
Well, with any luck, now she's like chasing him to God knows where. I mean,
oh God.
Honest, I'm watching her pack of stuff and going somewhere. I'm thinking, yeah, make it obvious.
Oh dear, what a mess. Yeah.
So, I think we should bring this to an end, because I know you've got more recording to do later on. But
I enjoyed it. Cathartic, that was.
It was. It was good.
Nice to get out of the system.
We've been saying since the start since we all met that we wish we were all talking about in the Braxton era, and now we've got it, girls.
Yeah, we have. That's true.
Yeah.
Manifesting. There we go.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's brilliant. If only we were all 10 years younger.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. My knees wouldn't hurt so much. That would be lovely.
Oh, okay, so I just want to say thank you for letting me on your podcast.
Not at all. Anytime.
And
You're always welcome on ours. And yeah, we love talking to you. So
well, you both are always welcome on mine. Obviously, so we're going to do Home and Away London.
Oh yes. Yeah, ready to go with that.
And Sophie, we need to do something. I know you're super busy, but we need some Sophie content as well.
Yes. Yeah, we need to think of something that we both watch that's something else, don't we?
Well, I will do anything.
Well, Sophie's really good at these Channel 5 dramas.
I do. I'm the tester of the podcast on so I watch the first episode and then I tell Si if I think it's a yay or a nay.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have an absolute hoot watching them, don't we?
Yeah.
That could be an idea, yeah. We've always said we'd do it if Home and Away stopped.
Yeah, there's one coming that I'm genuinely excited about. It's a Jill Halfpenny and what's
Sally
her name?
Lindsay.
Sally Lindsay, yeah, and it's called Number One Fan. Have you seen the trailer for that on Channel 5?
I have seen it. It does look good.
It looks so bad, it's good.
It looks good bad.
Yeah, good bad.
Playing Lorraine Kelly. I
Yes.
feel like she is.
Yes, I think she is. I think it's like Lorraine in the morning or something. And
Yeah.
that does look genuinely bad good. Yeah.
We need to book this in, Sophie. We need to make it happen. We need to stay away from the Foo Fighters, right? And
Never.
all your music. And
I've got room for both. It's fine.
And listen, if we all know we can come up here to your tower
Yes.
if we need to hide out.
Refuge. You can
from the
take us
law.
in. Yes.
Yeah. Just move some of the cattle out of the way.
And hopefully your listeners didn't get too bored of us and come along and check Home and Away out if you're in town.
And
it's all going down.
Check Find Sophie's podcast out if you haven't already. All 4 of my listeners, go and listen.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News wherever you source your podcasts, and ensure you never miss an episode.